What's up guys, Chris Siglansky here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the brand new Roval CLX Rapide wheel set. I just picked these up for a bike that I'm building right over there. Got a set on the Sagan bike. I'm getting a set built up for the Bora bike. So I'm really excited to talk about these wheels. Brand new 2021. They're no longer to be manufacturing the Roval CLX 64s or the CLX 50s. So this wheel set's gonna pretty much replacing both the CLX 50 and the CLX 64. This wheel set retails for $2,500. And a couple things that Specialized did with these wheels right out of the gate, which I thought was kind of cool. They actually staggered this wheel set. So the rear wheel is a 51 centimeter. So kind of like replacing the CLX 50s, they went with the 51 up front, and the rear wheel is gonna be a 60 millimeter, which we've seen this before from Specialized. They used to have the Roval, which was actually my first wheel set I've ever got from Specialized, which is the Roval CLX 60s, which I absolutely love those wheels. And Specialized kind of did like something where Envy did. I have Envy V wheels on that Venge right there, and Envy's really known for doing a staggered wheel set. They'll do big, small in the front, bigger in the back, and Specialized kind of took it upon themselves to do the same thing and copy Envy with that. So real quick, with these wheels, there is no more ceramic speed bearings, which I don't really understand why. Specialized has always done ceramic speed bearings on their bikes and their BBs and in their hubs when you got the CLX 60s, when you got the CLX 50s or the 64s. So this wheel you can see right there, it's still a DT Swiss hub, but no ceramic speed bearings. I try to look it up. They're just listing on their site that it's a sealed cartridge bearing, but the wheels are insanely light. This wheel set came in at around 1,400 grams. The rear wheel weighed about 751 grams, and the front wheel is around 649 grams. Being that it's a CLX model, they do the bladed spoke, which I love a lot. I think it's a really cool feature that Specialized does. Cutting through the wind adds aerodynamic to the wheel. Super cool look to it. I like it a lot. On the CL models, like they've done on the CL40s and the CL50s, it's just a regular, just a rounded spoke. Same style nipple on there, but you're not gonna get that nice DT bladed Swiss spoke on there. Also on the wheel, if you guys check this out, this is kind of really gnarly also. So not only did they make the wheel set staggered, they also did a wider front wheel. And everybody knows that Specialized has a wind tunnel, and they're I think one of the only bikes companies that has an in-house wind tunnel in Morgan Hill, California. So that's where they do all the testing. They have professional athletes like Peter Sagan and Julian Alaphilippe, who, hats off to him, he just won the 2021 world champion. So shout out to Julian Alaphilippe for that and winning it on that bike, the Tarmac SL7. But going back to this, check how crazy this out. So the front wheel is significantly wider than the rear. And for this reason is aerodynamics. They designed the front wheel like this to break the wind when riding and come thinner through the back wheel to create less drag, which makes completely sense, and only Specialized would do this because they always like to quote unquote innovate or die. So I saw that, I'm like, wow, it's really crazy. But putting a 26 700 by 26 tire, 26C tire on this wider front wheel, the rim actually bulges farther out than the tire does. So on that bike over there, I put a 28, and it kind of made it a little more even, a little more flush. I was kind of nervous putting a 26 on there. I felt like the rim was sticking out farther than if I went over, I don't know, a bump, or if I ran over a pothole that I didn't see running lower than 100 PSI, like running like 90, I feel like I'd crack the rim. So I was kind of a little freaked out about that. So I just ran a 28, which on the Venge and on the new SL7, there's so much room in that front fork. And in that rear triangle through the seat stay and the chain stay, you can run a 28, which most people are doing for the comfort. When you go with a wider tire, the tire actually gets taller and you could run less pressure, which also adds comfort, less fatigue. They're quoting you could probably push out more wattage if you're less tired on the bike. Also, cool thing about what Specialized did, which is one thing I really like about these wheels, which they did the D2 Swiss rear hub, but they included the 54 tooth star ratchet into this. They have the Ratchet EXP, and it was like a major upgrade when a lot of people, at least down here in Florida, we got our bikes, at least me, I would always do it on most of my Roval wheel sets. I would change out, I believe it came with a 32 tooth star ratchet on the inside, and I would always replace it for the 54 star ratchet for better engagement, especially if you're a climber, if you live in California or in a climbing state. The better engagement allows you to put down more power through each pedal stroke. So each revolution or each turn you're pushing and cranking down on the pedals, you're gonna have a better engagement in your bike. So that's like 100 and I think they're 170 right now for this star ratchet. And I remember a few years ago they were around like 130 or so. Price went up on them, but it's cool that Specialized included those into the CLX wheel set. I'm still kind of bummed that they didn't include the ceramic speed bearings in there, which whatever. I mean, we'll see what they do with their next wheel set. Also, what I did want to point out is on the holes on the hubs, which was really cool that they did, is on the front wheel, they made it an 18 spoke hole, which before used to be impossible to find. If you ever wanted to rebuild these wheels, it was harder to find like a hub that would pair up with that. But now they made it an 18 hole on the front hub, which is also DT Swiss. And on the rear, I believe it is a 24. One thing that I would say that I do not like about the wheels, but it really won't affect me, is that on these brand new wheels, you cannot run a tubeless setup. So Specialized just came out with their new their new turbo, S-Works Turbo Gripton. They're called the tubeless ready models. And everybody's going tubeless. You know, NV, Zip, Specialized did, but with these wheels, even though it comes with like, it looks like a tubeless ready rim strip, you cannot run tubeless. You cannot run tubeless tires on here, and there's specific ones you can't. Maybe in the future they're gonna do something different. But the reason for that is because on this carbon, on the inside of the internal width here, to achieve the weight they wanted, they actually made the hook a little bit shorter to make the wheels really, really light. So I thought that was, I mean, honestly, it's not gonna affect me, but for some guys, I know like 1 or 2 guys down here who ride tubeless on their Revals, and they're kind of bummed out, like, oh, hey, how come on the new Roval wheel set, I can't run the brand new Roval tubeless tires? Well, that's the reason what I heard from Specialized, because they want to achieve such a light weight. So they kind of minimize the carbon on that internal wheel to kind of go ahead and get us that weight that we wanted to see through Specialized. But that being said, wheels retail for around $2,500, and they're great wheels. I love them. I got to try them out on that S-Works Tarmac SL7, and I got them coming up on the Venge right there. So I'm really, really excited to get a feel for them on that bike, because I know the Venge, it normally comes with CLX 64s, but on the Tarmac, it felt really, really great. But other than that, if you guys got any questions, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any comments on the wheels, how they feel, how they ride compared to other Roval wheels, just drop a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Oh, last thing real quick, Specialized, when you get the wheels, you actually get the new wheel bags. I don't understand, with the front wheel, they gave you the older style wheel bag, and with the rear wheel, they gave you the newer bag when they both could fit perfectly fine in there. Maybe they just had a bunch of these left over, so they just gave you one of the older ones just to have, but both wheels do fit perfectly into the new wheel bag. But that's it for now, guys. Peace.